The South China Sea is a cauldron of geopolitical tensions. It is also a vital economic artery. This region possesses abundant natural resources, including oil and gas reserves. Crucially, it encompasses vital shipping lanes that facilitate global trade. Trillions of dollars worth of goods traverse these waters annually. This makes the South China Sea not just a regional concern, but a global one. The Spratly and Paracel Islands are at the heart of the disputes. These island chains are claimed in part or in whole by multiple countries. China's claims are the most expansive and assertive. The Nine-Dash Line, a demarcation line on Chinese maps, encapsulates a vast swath of the sea. This claim, however, lacks recognition under international law, particularly the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, UNCLOS. The South China Sea is where the interests of many nations intersect. The United States, though not a claimant, advocates for freedom of navigation in the region. This stance often puts it at odds with China's maritime ambitions. Japan, with its own territorial disputes with China in the East China Sea, is also a stakeholder in the South China Sea. The stability of this region has significant implications for global security and economic prosperity. The intricate web of claims and counterclaims makes the South China Sea a complex geopolitical puzzle. Untangling this knot requires a delicate balance of diplomacy, cooperation, and a commitment to international law. China's approach in the South China Sea is characterized by growing assertiveness. Beijing has engaged in island-building activities, transforming reefs and shoals into artificial islands. These islands are often equipped with military installations, airstrips, and deep-water ports. This militarization of disputed features raises concerns among neighboring countries and the international community. China's maritime activities extend beyond island building. Its Coast Guard vessels regularly patrol the disputed waters, often engaging in confrontations with fishing vessels from other claimant states. The deployment of maritime militia, ostensibly fishing vessels but often operating with state direction, further complicates the situation. These actions are perceived by many as attempts to enforce its expansive claims and assert dominance in the region. China's assertive posture stems from a combination of factors. These include historical narratives, strategic considerations, and resource security. Beijing views the South China Sea as historically Chinese territory. It also considers the region crucial for its maritime security and access to vital sea lanes. Furthermore, the South China Sea's resources, particularly fishing grounds and potential oil and gas reserves, are seen as crucial for China's economic growth. China's actions in the South China Sea have drawn criticism from various quarters. The United States, along with its allies and partners, conducts freedom of navigation operations or FONOPs in the region. These operations challenge China's excessive maritime claims and demonstrate a commitment to upholding international law. The Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN, which includes several claimant states, is also engaged in efforts to manage tensions and promote a peaceful resolution to the disputes. The Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN, plays a crucial role in managing tensions in the South China Sea. This regional bloc seeks to establish a code of conduct, or COC, with China. The COC aims to establish guidelines for maritime conduct and prevent misunderstandings and escalations. However, negotiations have been protracted with key issues like the geographic scope and legal binding status of the COC remaining unresolved. Recent incidents have heightened tensions in the region. The Philippines, a vocal claimant state, has raised concerns about China's increasingly aggressive actions within its exclusive economic zone, or EZ. These include the swarming of Philippine-occupied features by Chinese maritime militia vessels, harassment of Filipino fishermen, and dangerous maneuvers by Chinese Coast Guard ships. Such incidents underscore the fragility of the situation and the potential for miscalculations. The Philippines, under President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., has sought to strengthen its maritime security posture. It has revitalized its alliance with the United States, conducting joint patrols and exercises in the South China Sea. Manila has also sought to bolster its defense capabilities, acquiring new naval assets and enhancing its maritime domain awareness. However, the Philippines faces a significant military imbalance with China, making diplomacy and international law its primary tools for safeguarding its interests. The United States, as a Pacific power, has a vested interest in maintaining peace and stability in the South China Sea. Washington's commitment to freedom of navigation and its support for its allies and partners in the region often puts it at odds with China's ambitions. The U.S. Navy regularly conducts FONOPs, challenging China's excessive maritime claims and demonstrating its resolve to uphold a rules-based order. However, the U.S. also recognizes the need for dialogue and cooperation with China to prevent miscalculations and manage tensions. The South China Sea is a microcosm of broader geopolitical trends. It is a testing ground for the rules-based international order, with China's assertive actions challenging the status quo. The ongoing tensions in the region have significant implications for global security, trade, and the balance of power. The potential for conflict in the South China Sea, however remote, is a cause for global concern. A conflict in this region would have devastating consequences for the global economy. Disruptions to shipping lanes, which carry trillions of dollars worth of goods annually, would have ripple effects across the world. Moreover, a conflict involving major powers like the United States and China could escalate rapidly, with unpredictable and potentially catastrophic consequences. The South China Sea underscores the importance of diplomacy, international law, and cooperation in managing complex geopolitical challenges. It highlights the need for all parties to exercise restraint, engage in dialogue, and seek peaceful resolutions to disputes. The international community must work together to ensure that the South China Sea remains a sea of peace, stability, and shared prosperity, rather than a flashpoint for conflict.